kind of introduced everybody in the first section. We want to know something about your history, you got here, and if you're taking any money from tax. And that was a really good question to ask, because people want to know.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, good evening, everyone.
thanks to me, it's been a long day.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see so many of you out here today. First, I want to thank Julie and Rally Together for organizing this evening's event. I'm glad you get to meet three of the candidates running here in the 8th Congressional. Now, a show of hands. Who's from Elk Grove Village? All right, so the majority of folks in this room. All right, where are you guys from?
Roselle.
Roselle?
Bloomingdale.
Bloomingdale?
Hanover Park.
Hanover Park?
Schaumburg.
Schaumburg, awesome. All right, very good.
Wooddale.
Wooddale, awesome, fantastic. Okay, very good. So we've got folks here from all throughout the 8th Congressional District. As you know, it is a large district. It looks like an awkward H with a weird arm. But I'm proud to say that I grew up here in the 8th Congressional District. I grew up in Elk Grove Village, where we stand today. I actually studied here when I was in elementary school, junior high, and high school. And I would not be standing before you in this moment if it was not for my incredible mother, Bruna, who most of you met at the beginning of today's festivities. She's my lead inspiration. It is seeing her work ethic, seeing how she led, that inspired me to public service from the very beginning. It's my origin story. So I'm Kevin Morrison. I've been a county commissioner the last 7 years, and it's been an honor of a lifetime to be able to use my energy to improve the communities around me, especially the communities I grew up in. I was born in Chicago, and at 10 we moved to Elk Grove Village, but my story starts a bit earlier, even before I was born. My grandparents were off-the-boat Italians. They fled fascist Italy. They came here with nothing, and they were able to experience the American dream in just their own lifetime. And by the time I was born, my mom and my aunt had taken over the restaurant that they had started. It's now 57 years old. It's on the northwest side of Chicago, and it is growing up in that restaurant that really embedded in me, for one, it helped me recognize all the other inequities around me, but it also showed me the importance of small businesses and how they give back to community. So I often tell this story. Some of my first memories were sitting up at one of the front booths at that restaurant, and every time a customer would come in and ask for the owner, every time my strong Italian mother would walk out, she would be met with the same exact response. And that was, "Excuse me, I asked to speak to the owner." Now, as a 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old kid, I wasn't too certain what I was witnessing. I knew it was wrong, and it was also unfamiliar because in Italian households, the women are always in charge. But I did come as I grew up to recognize I was witnessing sexism and misogyny. They couldn't believe a strong Italian woman ran a successful business. But I do credit that experience would open my eyes at a very young age to all the other inequities around me. And it started my mission to want to fix them. But I also witnessed my family's restaurant giving back. We do discounts for the local police and fire departments in the community, to all the local schools. And then I saw my family also do fundraisers where, the bulk of what came into the restaurant that night went to a family dealing with high medical costs. And I saw time and time again my family's restaurants stepping up for the communities around them. And so at the age of 10, I started telling my mom, no matter what job I end up in, when I grow up, it needs to be dedicated to helping improve the communities around me and making this world a better place than I found it. And I've been on that mission ever since. Now, I am a graduate of DePaul University, where I studied political science and environmental science. I, in 2024, graduated cum laude from UIC Law, formerly John Marshall. It was John Marshall when I started. I took 5.5 years of night classes. Passed the February bar, and it was on my third swearing in to the Constitution on May 7th, this time being sworn in as an attorney, that Raja announced that he was running for U.S. Senate. Now, Raj is my former boss. I actually worked for him before I ran for the Cook County Board. And that next Monday, I announced my campaign for Congress. And I did that because I did not go 5.5 years of night classes to see our Constitution ripped to shreds. And right now, we are in a moment of crisis in our nation. And I know that no one in this room is standing still. I know we are all concerned. You wouldn't be at a candidate forum for the Democratic Party if you did not fall in that category. Now, just a little bit about me. I made history in 2018. I'm proud of that fact. I actually did not plan on running when I did. I had searched for a candidate to run, but everyone thought it was a fool's errand. I was 27 years old. I thought I was too young. But as I was searching for someone to run, my friends and mentors started saying, well, why don't you run? Well, I thought I was too young. So I actually called up my mom and my stepfather. I asked for a dinner. I think they thought I got arrested or something. And I went and had dinner with them. And I was fully prepared that driving to their house, after sharing with them what I was thinking of doing, my mom was going to look at me in the eyes and say, Kevin, you're too young. Wait your turn. And instead, without skipping a beat, my mom looked at me and goes, Kevin, you've been preparing for this your entire life. You have to run. Well, that was it. The cast was dealt. I jumped in the race against the chairman of the Illinois Republican Party and flipped a district blue for the first time in history, becoming Cook County's youngest and first openly LGBT county commissioner. And wow, that was a tough race, but running for Congress is a whole different ballgame. It has been a taxing 9.5 months, but the fact that I am standing before you full of energy, excited, and desperately waiting for March 18th means I truly feel like God's on our side, because I've been averaging about 12, 14-hour days working as I put in all my energy into this race. There are so many reasons why I am running, and I would say what is different about me than many of the candidates running is I have a track record of taking on Republicans and winning, but also delivering incredible results for our families. I know not all of you live in Cook County. And I hope to be able, once I get to Congress, to bring the types of policies that I've been able to pass as a county commissioner to fruition, not only for every 8th congressional district resident, but across this nation, because we need leaders who are caring about our families and improving their lives. As a county commissioner, I made reproductive health care a protected class for 5.2 million people. I got a sole Republican for the first time ever to vote in support of reproductive health care. I'm really proud of that. I created our county's brand new Department of Mental and Behavioral Health, which is seeking to make Cook County the first county in the entire nation to fill every single gap in the mental and behavioral health space. I created our residential tenant landlord ordinance, which allows low-income renters to be able to have their day in court when their landlords are breaking the law, protecting 256,000 renters throughout Cook County. I created a $100 million disaster relief fund that renews every single year because of climate change. We are now part of Tornado Alley, and we are seeing so many more tornadic and flooding events in our communities. I've done a lot of big things as a county commissioner. I've been able to find pathways to work with people on the other side of the aisle to get things done, especially with most of my mayors. My county board district spans from Des Plaines to Elgin, 17 municipalities. A lot of our mayors were not too thrilled to see a Democrat win when I did, but I was able to win them over. The majority of them endorsed me in my re-election year. I'm the only candidate in this race with 13 of our mayors here in the 8th Congressional District supporting me. And that includes our Elk Grove mayor, Wooddale mayor, as well as, I don't think we have any Elgin residents as well, but I am proud to be in this race. I am not one of the self-funders. I am not being supported by super PACs. And everything that we have brought to the floor has been grassroots. We have the most amount of small dollar grassroots contributions out of any candidate in this race, and I'm really proud of that. I've earned over 190 endorsements. That's more than any of my opponents' endorsements combined, and it's more than any candidate has earned in any of the 5 open seats in the state of Illinois right now. And I think it is a testament, because when you go to my website and you look who has endorsed our campaign, they go from progressives like Janet Jakowski, our congresswoman who's now retiring in the 9th Congressional District, to former Congressman Joe Walsh, who has spent the last 10 years actually putting more pressure against the Trump administration, actually left the Republican Party and has been fighting back against Trump more than one of my main opponents in this race, Melissa B., who stayed silent after she lost her seat in 2010 and disappeared from politics for 15 years. To jump back in with her corporate mega donors and super PACs behind her. $3.1 million of super PAC money has been spent just on that one candidate alone. And so I think what we've been able to build, the fact that the near $700,000 I've been able to raise from grassroots support, and where we stand in this campaign, we have been punching time and time again above our weight class. And I know there are a lot of great candidates that are running, who are running for the right reasons. But right now, we need leaders who have a track record of taking on Republicans and winning, but also getting major policies to the finish line. I already know how to govern. I've done it for the last 7 years as a county commissioner. I currently represent 325,000 people, and I have made it a point to continuously show up, not just during election season, but all the time. When our communities are in need, I've showed up at school board meetings, library meetings, municipal village meetings. I was at Grove Junior High just this morning to watch junior high students walk out and protest. I've joined a number of our high schools. I'm going to be at Palatine High School supporting those students this Wednesday when they walk out. And I'm the only candidate in this race who has showed up to more than one. I've only seen one of my opponents show up to one of these student walkouts. And I think it's important. And also, I think it's incredibly inspiring to see. I mean, when I was in high school, we didn't have to walk out of school. So to see our students engaged in this moment, that they're paying attention, and they recognize how destructive these ICE and immigration actions have been to our communities, inspires me. And so I felt incredibly honored, humbled, but also saddened that I even have to show up to support these students in this moment. Because like I said in the beginning, I did not go to law school to see our Constitution ripped to shreds. And in this moment, we are seeing so many of our constitutional rights at risk. We're seeing a kneecapped Congress who has given up their congressional authority to an unhinged president, and it is unacceptable. And I will not stand for it. That's why I jumped in this race. And right now, we need better messengers in Congress. We need people who are selfless and who are running for the right reasons. And the only reason why I'm part and in public service to begin with is because I want to meet with my residents. I want to find out what issues they're dealing with, and I want to bring solutions past the finish line to better their lives. I've done it as a commissioner. I can't wait to hopefully have the opportunity to do it as a congressperson. And I'm so excited to see you all in this room tonight, and I'm really looking forward to taking your questions.
So you talked about crossing the aisle. A lot of the Republicans right now are very stubborn and are not bending. So do you have ideas for like how you're gonna get them to move on some of these issues, because we're stuck and it's like so hopeless for us, I think, because nothing's getting done except the things that are like all against, like everything we're against.
I have a plan for that. It is not easy, and I agree with you, because right now our president has used political power to threaten members of his own party, threaten them with primary challenges. And it has put a lot of pressure that I find unacceptable and unethical. And so we need to legislate against that type of political pressure from presidents moving forward. It's something I want to achieve in Congress. But how do I plan on making them brave in this moment? Like I made my counterpart on the board when he finally supported reproductive health care. First time ever. I mean, my colleague Scott Britton put forward a resolution in support of reproductive health. And that same colleague went to social media and he got death threats. His church stopped offering him communion. The relationship I was able to build with him, he voted yes. And yes, that was brave. But how did I do that? For one, I take the time to get to know people, even if we disagree. And unlike most elected officials, I don't burn bridges. I do not hold grudges, even though that's hard. And I do not cause bad blood. I find where our commonalities are, and I start to build on them, right? So how I built the relationship with him, I realized that our taxpayer dollars and being spent responsibly, and our oversight as a board was commonly important to both of us, and we partnered multiple times board actions that would have taken away some of our oversight, which would have let separate departments spend even higher without us having to vote and accept those contracts. So that was my way in. How I plan to do this in Congress, I plan on being very strategic on who I hire. And before I'm even sworn in, I want to have a book knowing every member of Congress. Are they the selfless type of leader who ran for the right reasons? Or are they in the more self-centered, self-interested, self-serving side of the elected official aisle? And unfortunately, we have too many of those. And I can't wait after this March 17th primary to step around this nation electing great candidates in their primaries in general. So we have more people on the selfless side of the bench. But what I also plan, no matter if they're Democrat or Republican, because yes, the self-interested side falls on both sides of the aisle, I plan on having a book to show what are their top issues. Why did they run? What is a common issue that we both dealt with that I could find a point of commonality with them? And to use that to build that relationship, to help them be brave in this moment, and also to remind them, because a lot of, especially on the conservative side, I'm going to find out which ones actually believe in God and are being honest when they're throwing the Bible at all of us. But I'm going to remind them that they swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. And they are not standing up in this moment. They are actually breaking their oaths. And so to find a way for them to find it within themselves to be brave, that's how I'm going to hopefully be able to bring some folks from the other side of the aisle. But don't be frightened. Come next November. We're going to be winning back the House and Senate. We have to. There's no other option. Thank you for that question. Yes.
I have to say one thing. I saw pictures of Kevin down at Elk Grove High School, and I got so mad at him because I can walk to Elk Grove High School, and it's like, why the hell didn't you tell me you were going to be down there? I would have walked down there with my sign.
I know. That one I had the least amount of time to prepare. I literally got a message. Elk Grove High School is walking out right now. Get over there. But yes, no. Any other questions?
And so what's your stance on term limits?
So similar to what, similar and different to what my colleague said before me. I do support term limits for the Supreme Court. But I actually, what I would like to see when it comes to elected officials, because, there are great people who run, and I think everyone should have the opportunity to see their core policy agenda through the finish line and see passage. And sometimes it does take time. But what I would like to see is better investment in educating the public of what their current elected officials are doing and not doing. Because we got a lot of people just keeping those seats warm and winning time and time again based on their name recognition. Now, me, in the last 7 years, I have literally accomplished everything I ran on in 2018. And now I want to bring those policy goals national and expand on it, because I do not have all the powers as a county commissioner. I want to see healthcare become affordable and accessible to all. I want to see higher education become affordable and accessible to all. I want to tackle our affordability crisis and finally give breaks to the working and middle class, because we, for too long, have continuously allowed the rich to continue to get richer and all those pressures to fall on our shoulders. But what my commitment to you is, and what I hope to see more of, and the type of people I will elect, when I get to Congress, I have a mission of what I want to correct. And when I get there, I do not want to die in office if it's my choice. Okay? As long as I get to choose, I want to see retirement. And I don't think we should have so many members, in their mid to late 70s and upward, continuing to serve. Like there is a moment to pass on the baton. My focus will be on improving the information individuals are able to receive on their elected officials, not just Congress members, but across the line. Because too often, very important seats go unheard of, right? Like, how many times have I heard at the door, what is a Cook County commissioner? And, to the chagrin of many of my colleagues on the board, with the hard work I've done and the top line constituent services, I kind of forced them all to work a little bit harder. Many of them actually use my newsletter. They chop off my name and send it out to their own mailing list because that's how good it is. During COVID, I had the most comprehensive newsletter. I think Durban was sending it out statewide.
This is a question I'm just ignorant of, but so does Congress have the power to change the electoral college to get rid of it?
I think that would have to be done through likely an amendment to the Constitution. So
So it would be
but
congressional.
our congressional members would be able to move that amendment forward, and then it would need to reach a majority of the states to be able to become. Yeah. But we could fight for it, just like we need to fight to end Citizens United. I know we had a conversation earlier about super PACs and their involvements in campaigns. Like I said, I do not have any super PACs backing me. There are 3 candidates in this race with super PAC support. I'm also not self-funding. Of the 8 of us, 5 of us are multimillionaires. And I'm not one of them. I come from the working class. I have not been able to give substantially to my campaign fund.
Again, 5 of the 8 congressional
5 of the 8 congressional candidates in this race are multimillionaires. Of them, 3 of them moved into the district to run, and 1 still lives outside the district. Melissa still lives out in the district, that's correct. Yes.
How is she even eligible then?
So, under our constitution, you just have to live in the state. Because it goes back to a time with smaller populations and at-large districts that were statewide. But I do honestly, to run for county commissioner, you have to live in that district for 2 years. I do support, and it likely would also have to be a constitutional amendment. I think that there is import to growing up and living in the district you are seeking to serve. I've lived in this district for 26 years. I'm 36 years old now. The other 10 were in Chicago. So the majority of my life has been spent in this district. And also, I think it's fundamentally important, right? I grew up in these communities. I understand the issues they deal with. And I made it a point to get to know as many of the voters as possible. When I ran the first time, I knocked 46,000 doors in that race and ended the campaign with 3 herniated discs. And that's my pledge to you too. I'm going to continue to be present, continue to show up. And yes, I pledge to have regular in-person town halls.
So I'm asking the same question that I asked Dan and Yasmin.
Yeah.
If by chance you don't get elected, how are you going to continue the fight for our democracy?
Well, I'm going to continue fighting like I always have. I've actually been in, had I known that prior to 18 I could have volunteered for candidates, I would have been volunteering back then. In high school, I was volunteering with environmental groups, getting buckthorn out of our forest preserves. But starting my freshman year of college, that's when I started getting involved. I started off as an environmental activist, volunteering for the Sierra Club, and it's a very long name, the Illinois Coalition for a Moratorium on Hydraulic Fracturing. And then I started getting involved with candidate campaigns. So I've actually been helping elect folk for the last 15 years to office. And I also have a track record of helping elect people nationally. So as a county commissioner, I've been stumping for folks, not just in my own commissioner district, but in the collar counties as well. I joined the Victory Fund Board. So like I mentioned, I'm the first openly LGBT person elected as a county commissioner. I will be Chicagoland and the surrounding suburbs' first LGBT member elected to Congress. So this is a historic opportunity that we have here in the 8th. But 12 of my former volunteers across this nation are now elected to local office. I'm really proud of that. And on the Victory Fund, I was helping elect LGBT people across this nation. So no matter what happens on May 17th, I'm committed, or March 17th, thank you. It's been a long day. I started off,
Don't wait till later to find out.
I got up at 5:30 a.m. and was at a metro station at 6, greeting commuters as they were going off to work downtown. So it's been a long day for me. Come March 17th, no matter what happens in this race, I'm going to be using my energy as I always have, which is supporting great candidates through their primaries and general elections. Prior to working for Raja, I spent 2 years working for Hillary Clinton's campaign, trying to stop Trump 1.0. I worked for her in 4 states. I was in charge of Northeast Ohio and 4 counties. I had 10 staff under me. I was devastated at the end of that election, but what did I do? I came back home and I immediately started getting rooted with our local Democratic Party, which I hadn't done before. My first meeting was with my now Chief of Staff, Ted Mason, who's running to succeed me on the Cook County Board. I'm actually giving up my seat as a county commissioner to run for Congress. I'm taking a risk because this moment demands risks and demands fighters. So I'm giving up a job I love because I want to be able to help more people. And that's why I'm in this race. So what I'm going to continue to do to support our party, I'm going to continue stopping and helping elect great candidates to office. I've been doing it for 15 years, and I can't wait to continue. And we need to win. We need to win as many seats as possible. No, all right, close it down. Well, I appreciate you all. I thank you for being part of this process. I thank you for taking your time out of this evening. And again, thank you to Julie for helping organize it. And Kelly, of course, as well. And I say to all of you, this is an important moment. We need to make sure that we've got folks who are the most likely to be able to beat some of our less favorite people who are running in this race. And I already represent 32% of this district. I'm proud of the record I have. Like I said, I have a track record of taking on Republicans, winning, and delivering great results for our families. So I hope to earn your support. If I have earned it, we've got some yard signs. You can go to KevinMorrisonForCongress.com to follow us on social media. And right now, we could all be using our voices to not only share with our families who we're supporting, but volunteering and coming out to our events. I got a number of town halls coming up, one in Wooddale, Bloomingdale, Elgin, Schaumburg. I had one yesterday in Elk Grove Village, and the one this evening. So there's many other opportunities to come and ask me questions too if you have more between now and the primary. Thank you so much for being out here this evening.
All right, thank you.